I would like to know and have you confirm if you can hear me, please. You can write to me in the chat. It is enabled. Thank you. Well, as I was saying, my name is Yasmin Molina, and I am going to share with you the tool developed by NV Global, which is their own exchange. It is called Bitnevex. I am going to share my screen with you. Very well. So we have this exchange called Bitnex, which has been developed by the people at NV Global with the purpose of meeting the need that all people working with crypto assets have to have their own space, to eliminate those intermediaries like banks in order to carry out the different transactions we need to do, buying and selling, holding so many options that we have in the exchange. In this part, we are going to see a small introduction of what Bitnevex is. We will see what its objective is, what the services are, and finally, we will review the platform, because there is nothing better than practice to learn about the functionalities of it. So, what is Bitnevex? As I was saying, it is a platform where cryptocurrencies are traded. You can buy, sell, and exchange cryptocurrencies such as Ethereum, Shiba, Binance Coin, Tether, Edo, Ripple, among others. Others are being implemented. Okay? Where is the location or the offices of this exchange? In Antala, Stake. In Prague, Czech Republic. Okay? And here you have your electronic address. Okay? support@bitnevex.com. That is the objective of Bitnex. Well, the idea is to make the transaction and commercialization of cryptocurrencies easier. To make it common, secure, and simple, easy, and user-friendly so that transactions are safe. What services do they offer? So we have a 24/7 service, 24/7 support. We have a spot service, which is buying cryptocurrencies on the market. That is, at this moment, we enter and can buy at the price at which the different cryptocurrencies are found. The different assets, we have the P2P service, or P2P is person to person. So many of you already know, have had experience, and for those who are new, we inform you that the way to monetize our profits, our earnings, or what we have held in cryptocurrencies, to convert it to our local currency, we can do it person to person through this option. So how is it done? Then, within the platform, there is a space where people buy and sell. We can take on or perform both functions. We can be offerers or we can be bidders. In other words, we can be buyers or we can be sellers. When I have a need to exchange currencies to meet my needs in fiat money of my country, for example, paying bills, paying obligations, etc., or I want to buy at an establishment that does not accept cryptocurrencies, then I can come here and make a transaction, right? Then I communicate with the person. The platform guarantees me that this person is safe, that it is safe to transact with this person because they have already undergone a verification process beforehand, right? The same applies when I am on the opposite side. If I am not the counterparty and I am going to be the one selling, they have to ensure that I am trustworthy, that I will not commit any illegal acts, and that it is safe to make a transaction with me. The platform takes care of that, right? We are implementing, or they are implementing, futures contracts with USDT, right? This is under development. The others, of course, are already active. There are things being worked on, being improved on the platform because it is new, but it is very functional. Okay? Here, we have our link to the person who invited you, to the person who invited them. You can ask them for the links, okay? What it does is very easy. Registering is very easy. As you can see here at the top, my computer is set up to translate this into Spanish. Well, if we don't handle English very well, then we translate it into Spanish and it tells us that once this link takes us to create an account, okay? Here we see the space, the domain, bitnevex.com. It tells us that we are referred by that person every time someone registers under a code. So that person is then assigned an identification number. So you register under that link, and that person, everyone who goes through it, will be their referral. Okay, then what are you going to do? Well, you will enter both your email address, set a password, and here they are asking for the referral code. As you can see, it already appears filled in because it is referring me to something. Finally, you check the box for I have read and accept the terms and conditions and click on create an account. So, this is the extinction part. Nothing else happens there, but they will verify the email through a 6-digit code that arrives in your inbox. Done. There, after this, after registering, it will arrive. You have that space to enter the 6-digit code, okay? You enter it, and once you do, you will be able to access the platform. So let's look at the practical part. Here I already have open a dashboard, okay? So it is very user-friendly for people who already use exchanges like Binance, I forget the other one, Bybit. These are platforms that operate in a similar way. So here we have an identification number. We have here that tells us, for example, that the second authentication factor, which is very important to use, is not active. So it needs to be enabled in this case. What is the second authentication factor? It's security for us. If I lose my phone, if someone takes it by mistake, or if someone knows and I lose my phone, well, they can take out easily the USDT or the cryptocurrencies that are there. So the second authentication factor requires us to have another code, okay? Which is obtained through a fingerprint or some other code. Ready? Identity verification, that is not required as much by people who have experience with brokers as in exchanges that are verified, that are regulated, okay? There are some that are not regulated, but they're also very good, all right? Like others, Trust Wallet, Exos, they are very good exchanges, but they are not centralized, so they are managed more. Let's say it's to avoid all the legality issues, because here, in a way, doing person-to-person transactions leaves a trace for the government, so we can obviously do it because we are not doing anything illegal. But let's say that in countries where you have to declare or explain where our funds come from, well, these exchanges, let's say they contribute to us having to do this, all right? But it gives us the security that we are verified, that there is a number, that there is one, a place. You have to upload a receipt as well to verify the address. So all these are the things that make it so that when we are going to make the transaction person to person, there is a broader range of security, both for the exchange and for the two parties involved, in case something happens. Well, there is a place to make a claim. There is a place to block. Let's say we have to register via an email. So there is a place to make blocks, and the exchange takes the necessary security measures to control this type of activity. All right. What else do we have here? Here at the top, we have the email with which we are registered. We have the dashboard. We have the security section, which, if we look at it, is the same as they told us. Verification needs to be done when the only thing we have verified in our account is the email. For example, we can see it here. All right. If we want to change it, here we click change, and then we do what is requested to change the email. The phone number then is not verified. This also needs to be done. And in the authenticator, ready from Google. Also, if we want to change the login password, this is the space to do it. And that's it regarding security. Now, let's go here to the wallet. As you can see, the menu here, it is very similar to the one here on our left. All right. It doesn't change much. If we go to wallet, we will see all the cryptocurrencies that are available. All right. I can make a deposit if I have cryptocurrencies in another exchange and I want to transfer them here to trade them or to exchange them or to sell them. Well, simply what I do is click here on deposit. For instance, let's say if the deposit were BNB, and it generates for me, I select the network. They are working. It must be that they are working on the page on the server. And that's why it doesn't show up for me. But upon filling out the fields here, both the token and there, it took a little while. There I chose BNB, right? and it shows me, sorry, it shows me. There the network should appear for me, right? Which is generally B20. It's a very economical network. And it shows me the address, right? It tells me that the minimum to deposit is 0.09 PNB, that the deposit will obviously won't be returned if I made a mistake choosing the network, that I should only send the deposit. That is only what I'm going to send to this address, that I should request. Can I request support in case of loss so that the support people can confirm for me what happened? And that after the deposit, I should refresh from 5 to 10 minutes to be able to see it, okay? That means that's how long the deposit takes. Ready? Here I can search for the transactions I make. We haven't done it yet because, well, this is as I say, it's a backup. It's a platform that is in development, which is relatively new. And I can go back, okay? Here in the dashboard, I also have a space where you can view or cover the balance I have. Ready? Here it gives me the wallet. We return to the same part if we want to withdraw, deposit, or exchange. If we want to withdraw, we go to withdraw. If we had a balance, then we select which cryptocurrency we have, the same data, okay? It's very important. Always remember to verify for any exchange. Once or twice both the address, if you are going to copy it, it's easier and more practical to scan it. However, you must verify because systems can also make mistakes, but not verify. Generally, this is done with the first 4 digits that appear and the last 4. This is to avoid any difference or that the numbers get mixed up. Because remember that a missing digit or a wrongly selected data, the network, well, causes the money transactions to get lost, and you chose the deposit here instead of 20 and send it through the network. You choose it here instead of 20 and send it through the Tron network. The money gets lost, okay? It's very important to always keep that in mind, that both for new people and for those who have already done it more. Mechanics. Ready? What else do we have here? If we go to the referral section, for example, here we have our referral code. Look at what I was telling you. Here, this exchange also allows us to generate commissions from the transactions made by the people we know. So if we have a work team, we will share this referral link with our team. It took a little while to load, but there it appears. This is the code. As you saw, it's the code that appeared on the previous page. Or this is the link, the referral link. So you copy it and send it to the person who is going to register. Or alternatively, you give them the registration page and indicate that when they are registering, there is a space that says referral code or referral ID. This is the number they will enter there so that they are referred by you and you can generate commissions from the transactions they make. As I was saying here, for those who have experience here in the room, a double authenticator is necessary, for example, to connect through API. What is the API? Well, we are using it at this moment. Later on, when this platform allows us to use it, we will very likely implement it with them because they are our company. To connect our crypto future service, ready? Through smart contracts. So that connection is made from my exchange through the API as it connects to the trader's strategy. Therefore, we definitely need the double authenticator here. Why? Because it's a security issue. Okay? So here we go back to the part of translating, changing the language up to Spanish. Ready? Here we have at the top everything I was telling you about. Of course, I understand this better in English. Here in the later part, we have what are markets. Ready? Here are the different cryptocurrencies. Here they can be traded. Here we have trading with operations. So as I was saying, the spot market, the P2P market, the USDT in futures that is being worked on, and contracts in USDT. Ready? This is a different type of contract. The one we handle is this one, which is under development. And we generate, yes, we select spot. So as I say, this is a market purchase, okay? Where I am going to directly look at, for this case, the cryptocurrency Ethereum against USDT. So we see that it is going down, we would say we might think it's a good time to buy. Why? Because it went down, right? And this chart is on a daily basis. So it means that it has been, look, it is doing well. In what I have learned from trading, it is making lower highs. This high is lower than this one. This high is lower than the previous one. This high is lower than the previous one. And here it is doing a kind of lateralization. One of these is a day, meaning it has been in that price range since March 10th. It has been there for 8 days. It hasn't moved from there. So we could say, I say it's going to go up. So what do? I come here and click buy Ethereum, right? In case I wanted to short it. And what am I going to do? I will wait for it to reach, I don't know. I will make my forecast and say it will reach 2200. So when I set it up and when it reaches 2200, I can sell, okay? Here, the deposit, here I click buy. Since we don't have a balance, we should first deposit. Then we buy, leave it there, and when it hits my take profit, we will sell and proceed to withdraw, okay? If we want to change the asset, it's the same. Here at the top, we have the different assets. Let's look at, for example, BNB, how BNB is behaving. We wait a little for it to make the change. I think it's my internet that's a bit slow. I'm going to do it now. And it doesn't change for me. There, it's ready. It has changed now. So here we see the behavior, for example. Here it has selected for us the company's attitude. Ready? Let's wait for the chart to load. Let's change the time frame. Let's see. Refreshes faster. Let's see. Here we have the price at this moment. This cryptocurrency is costing 0.85 cents of a dollar. So, and if we review and look and see that the project is very good, because this Bitnevex coin is new, generally they have, just like a company, their period of growth, period of expansion, period of consolidation, and then their decline. Now, if the coin has usability, because we will see many people trading and transacting with this cryptocurrency, it will tend to sustain over time and will have volume as long as there are people buying and selling. Ready? So obviously its price will fluctuate just as Bitcoin did in its time. When no one believes in Bitcoin, well, this is something you have already heard, but I repeat it because it is a relevant point. Nobody believed in Bitcoin back then. Bitcoin was $100. Then it was 500. I got to know it at $500. And well, I didn't pay attention to it. Then it went to 1,000, then to 2,000. And now we see that the history tells us it's at $80,000. It has moved. It has almost reached $100,000, right? How long? Well, it's been 10 years, but in terms of appreciation, if you buy a Bitcoin at $500, calculate. Right now you have $88,000 in return. Does it work or is holding not functional? Right. So here, look, we also see BNB forming a bearish structure, but it might have an upward trend. Look, we might be seeing the formation of a W pattern. Or generally, or for those who don't know, I'll tell you that these wicks left by these candles, these long wicks, are liquidity, right? Generally, the market tends to go back to seek and collect this liquidity, meaning with a candle, in this case, it would be a green engulfing candle. That covers all of this. It will take out the people in those positions to sell because it goes up and it will take that liquidity. So there will be people who profit from that transaction. Exactly the same thing happens. So at this moment, BNB is costing $625.77. I have my deposit. I look at the amount I want to buy in BNB. I enter it here. Let's say I want to buy 50. I'm going to buy 100%. Since I have nothing, that's why zeros appear. But if I had $100, then I would only deposit half. I would only buy half in BNB. I click buy and do the same. I wait for it to arrive. Here my orders would appear, the date I opened it, in which pairs, which in this case would be BNB USDT, what order I have, which in this case would be a purchase, the price at which I entered, the amount I bought, and here the movement it has, and the status would appear ready. Here it would tell me if it's active. If it's closed, and when it reaches my TP, then it will close, okay? I will close it and sell, and then I will collect my profits. Ready? Up to this point, I would like to know if anyone has any questions because I notice you all are quiet. You're very shy today. Is it the cold or is everything very clear? Honestly, the page is indeed very user friendly. It's very similar for people who are in sales and have already used other exchanges because basically its functionality is very similar. Ready? What makes it different? Well, it's that it belongs to our company. It's part of NV Global. It's developed by the same team. So it's like the support, it's like the tools. It's what gives solidity to the company, right? A company that does networking, which at the same time provides tools like this exchange, because being an exchange is not so easy. You need to have liquidity, you need to have volume to be able to start backing the transactions that will be made within the company. So let's say that this tool speaks very well of the projection and the quality, the strength of expansion that the company we are part of brings, right? Or the one you are interested in being a part of, it's for you to see the possibilities you have. If you reach Binance to get to Binance, well, it has had to struggle quite a bit, right? And it has had to invest a lot of capital when they have suffered, for example, besides hacking and such. Well, they haven't been small amounts either. I think it was recently that Bibit suffered a hack and a significant amount of money was lost. So it means that you need to have good backing and solid financial stability to be able to create these types of platforms, right? Well, here, if we continue, then we have what I'm telling you, P2P trading. Here, I might not be able to show it to you directly because we don't have a balance, but I'll explain that this is similar to those who have traded with our well-known exchanges, okay? Here we have space for buying, which is buy, and space for selling, which is sell. If we can make a deposit at this moment, right, or set, we can do it, but I think it doesn't show up for us. Well, we can do it in BNB, in Polygon, or in Ethereum. Ready? The most economical network at the moment is BNB among these three here. So we are going to search. We would search in all regions, meaning these transactions are done around the world. There are people who manage international bank accounts, which makes it easier for them to withdraw or make transactions with people from all over the world. There are others that we must make transactions with, well, with people, specifically in our country, right? So I think if we are going to search, for example, let's search here. Paraguay, we are developing, or they are developing a team at this moment. Let's see if people are already appearing for us. Here they have their price at which they offer their BNB. They have the limit, the minimum they sell, the maximum they sell. So here it is. Through which bank they do it, for example. And then what I have to do is find the price that fits best. That day she promptly got it. It's to buy a Brato. So would this be my choice? Then here I click buy and I would start talking to the person. So remember that you cannot start a transaction if it is not going to be completed. In truth, we run the risk of being penalized, okay? But basically, this is how it works. Ready? They have all the payment methods, or they want to pay through a bank. If I wanted to pay with a Paraguayan bank, let's see which banks they have. Well, here it is, bank. Once I talk to the people, they will tell me which bank they use, okay? Which bank suits me? Well, for me, but it's possible because all banks charge, right? For the transaction. So the one that charges me the least, that's the one I'll go with. Okay? Now, if I wanted to sell, if I already have a balance there of BNBs, I need liquidity, I need to monetize, what do I do? Well, I also come here to the P2P trade option. I no longer choose to buy, but instead select sell. Here they are distinguished by colors. Generally, in trading, buying is known by the color green and selling is known by the color red. All right? The same, we wait for the page to load. If there are people, in this case, it would be me who should qualify to sell. For this, a series of requirements must be met. You have to verify yourself. You have to meet a series of requirements where my financial stability is also shown, that I have the means to cover my transactions. It's not like, hey, I'm going to sell and then I don't have anything to sell, or I've run out, so I've run out the BNB. So there's none available, and that creates, well, a disruption on the platform. So the platform verifies in a way, they ask for some kind of backing to be able to bring, to be able to reach You are going to bring how much monthly? Well, in approximately dollars, you need to have a base of $500 or $700 to leave as a deposit. In case something happens with the transactions, a resolution can be provided to the person who is waiting, who is ready to buy. What else do we have here? As I mentioned, they are developing, which is the topic of futures. Ready? We are working on it. Look, ready? And here, we already have competition topics. Okay, competitions are also held among traders. Ready? Competitions are held and prizes are awarded according to this. This is for people who are dedicated to trading, to making transactions. Ready? So look, here we have live competitions. They are shown in real time. There is a leaderboard. The leaderboard is what determines who is going to win. How do you participate? Well, you participate in the competition through a prediction, which is what a trader normally does, a speculation, or the prediction of what is going to happen with the price. The key factor, and as my idea states here, is the volume. Ready? The volume always the same for a business, for a cryptocurrency in this case. For any topic we have, to bring results, well, the secret or the important thing is in the volume. Ready? The greater the number of people, both suppliers and both debtors and buyers, the greater the number of transactions will be. And well, there is a greater possibility of making significant profits. Here it is telling us the terms to win, how the winners are determined. So the person who does the most trading of traders of trades will occupy the top positions. All right, here they are going to show the results. It indicates that they show the results of the competitions, that the winners are announced along with the reward they receive, meaning this gives us prizes. And here it mentions key points to remember. So the updates are in real time, and the rankings are based on volume. As I mentioned, and the rewards are given to the best competitors, meaning to the people who most accurately predict the price. And then the disclaimer, right? That these are financial risks because that you must trade responsibly and you should be aware that just as you can win, you can also lose. Ready? Ready. If we go to this finance section here, we can request a cryptocurrency loan. For this, also, we have the loan history here. These items for this, well, certain requirements must be met, right? It's not that they will lend to us right away, but we must meet some seniority requirements, security requirements, so that the platform has the guarantee, in a way, that the money will return. Since I am requesting a loan that I will trade with the aim of returning the money and obtaining my profit, right? We have more over here. So here we have general information. We have a description of the platform that is launching. But we all have, when projects come out that are going to be, this is like the space for project incubation, as this is going to be the topic of the projects. The names of those projects escape me at this moment. But it's when they launch a cryptocurrency in the project, and if the project is good, then it happens here. Let's say if I want to start a business or a company, I don't know, maybe pet care, then everything that has to do with that, no more. But I am going to receive and generate my own cryptocurrency. So here I come and I personally put it all with a theme of rigor to explain my ecosystem, how I am going to maintain it, how I am going to sustain it. And it has permissions. I will offer it, and if people are interested and find it appealing, they will start making the noise. They position me within the listing here in the market, and I will gain benefits through this exchange. Why? Because they will pay me, and because through this exchange I will conduct my transactions to receive and exchange my money. Ready? And here we have the frequently asked questions section. Ready? Here, they ask the basic questions. We have the space for frequently asked questions in that topic. Ready? And here in notifications, we have the information that comes to us regarding price information. What should I verify? The status of my transactions, all that will be managed here. Ready? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have nothing left but to thank you for your attention. I ask again in the chat, does anyone have a doubt, a question, a concern that they want to let me know? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Remember, this tool is part of NV Global, which is the project we are currently working on. It is the company we are representing where we have the opportunity to develop our leadership skills. Right now, I am going to invite you very specially to connect. Don't leave at 8 p.m. exactly, in a little less than 20 minutes. We are going to have our president, our leader, our marketing leader for Latin America. When Jimenez will explain to you and give you an expansion on what NV Global is all about, how can you participate? What products do they offer? I am talking to you about a tool that the company has, but it also has products in which you can invest and generate profit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I reiterate my gratitude for your attention. I hope the information was clear. I hope you have an excellent rest of the night and an excellent rest of the week. Goodbye.